Hey you guys, I'm Dr. Ellie Summers, the owner of Sisu Sports Performance and PT in Seattle, Washington. Today I wanted to talk to you about fear avoidance. And fear avoidance is something that happens when we have an injury and we start avoiding activities to help protect ourselves. But specifically I wanted to talk about how I can influence a person's recovery in this fear avoidance cycle. So in somebody who recovers really well, a lot of times what will happen, we'll have an injury, they'll experience pain, and they won't have a lot of fear about what's going on. They'll trust that their body's going to get better, or maybe they've experienced it before. They'll confront the issue and they'll recover. And this is kind of the path we want everybody to go on, right? We want everybody to recover from injury, of course. But a lot of times that doesn't always happen that way. So sometimes somebody will get an injury, they'll have pain, and they'll start to catastrophize. And this can happen for a number of different reasons. Specifically, maybe you looked up your injury on WebMD and you got a little bit nervous about what was happening, so you're getting some negative or threatening information. Maybe you went to a healthcare provider who told you that you were broken in some way. Again, negative information. Stuff like this is going to feed this cycle and inevitably leads to pain-related fear. So now you're kind of freaked out about what's happening and you're not sure what to do and feeling really scared. That leads to avoidance. And that's where sort of the fear avoidance comes in. And avoidance can be found in a number of different scenarios. We can avoid, in my line of work as a physical therapist, most people are found avoiding certain activities. So if it hurts to do a squat, I'm not going to do a squat. If it hurts to bend over, I'm not going to bend over. Sometimes part of the reason people do that is because they've received negative or threatening information from a healthcare provider like me that says, don't do a squat or you'll damage your knees, or don't bend over or you'll damage your back. This information is terrible. It's terrible information and highly threatening and keeps people on this path. Once we've been avoiding things for a little while, that's going to lead us to disuse and depression and maybe disability. Obviously, if you're not doing squats, you're not getting strong through your legs maybe. Like, there's a certain amount of disuse that occurs, right? So this cycle kind of feeds on itself. And as a provider, it's essential that we recognize where we're increasing people's level of threat. And while I know that not everybody wants to hear something really positive about their body when they feel like their body is betraying them in certain circumstances, positive information is essential. It's essential, particularly if we're headed down this cycle over here. And why? Because it helps bring us back to this cycle over here. So, this is maybe a simplified version of things, because pain is complex and each of us is unique and going to have different types of things happen. But as a provider, it is my duty to move you towards recovery. My duty. So when you come to see me for an injury, you're not going to get threatening or negative information about what's happening. Mostly because it's not going to help you recover. And if that's ultimately what you want to do, I can help teach you about what's happening in your body, about what to expect from it, about how things should feel, what is dangerous. I can do a thorough musculoskeletal examination to diagnose your issue, to help determine if there is something more serious we need to think about, and I can refer you to the right providers if that's the case. But a lot of times, people who see me for musculoskeletal injury, they need to hear that their body is capable. And it is extremely impactful on recovery in my experience as a provider. So I would highly encourage you to reach out if you have questions about this. Send me an email or message me on Facebook or Instagram, whatever you want to do, reach out to me. I am more than happy to help and to guide you in the right direction and get you on a path to recovery.